please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log Supplemental. Some people beg attention because they were programmed to only feel validation when the masses give them something empty, like a little bit of echo chamber rhetoric. People that are products of this, a bit embarrassing to watch, yet many of us can't seem to take our eyes off them and their poor decision. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Where Are They Now? Today we are going to be taking a look at somebody I've only covered once before, at the very beginning of 2022, where I tried to work out if the individual in question was a Karen. This person rose to notoriety on a very classy show called Teen Mom, a show that I have been reliably informed basically paid them to continue to get pregnant, to continue to make bad decisions so they can throw money at them, buy all the luxuries they could get while the show was still running, to make them look like even bigger trash when they invariably collapsed afterwards. I am talking of one of the stars of Teen Mom, of course, Jenelle Evans, or Eason. Evans? Eason? You know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I'm going to play the original video I did back in 2022, parts of it anyway, that I feel are relevant to this. We are then going to take a look at what she's been up to since, so that may well include some of 2022 and most of this year, 2023. When it came to me learning about these people, I had to reach out to somebody who I knew watched trash television. They basically confirmed everything I'd already known to be true, which is obviously awesome. I'm so grateful that I was right when finding out about trash people. That aside, my curiosity has been piqued because I am often very curious to see what those that feature heavily on what is dubbed a reality show go on to accomplish afterwards, whether they can maintain a level of relevancy or whether they become desperate for attention types, so desperate they will reduce themselves to the lowest common denominator to try and make sure they can maintain the lifestyle they believe they are entitled to for being the celebrity that they think they are. From what I have been informed, the arrogance is strong in the individual I'm going to now show you a video of, or my video covering them, from 2022. There'll be a timestamp at the top if you would like to skip it. Wow, you can tell I'm really low energy. I'm not entirely sure the person we're going to talk about is a Karen, but because they are answering accusations that they are one, well, we can certainly go through that and try and work it out. The individual we're going to be discussing today is Jenelle Evans. Jenelle Evans rose to fame on a TV show called Teen Mom, which should already be an indicator as to the level of the quality of the individual we're going to be discussing today. They are, after all, the avatar of poor decisions, and those same poor decisions will more than likely play a factor in what it is that got her into trouble. So for this we now need two definitions. One is the word Karen. Karen is a pejorative slang term for an obnoxious, angry, entitled, and often racist middle-aged white woman who uses her privilege to get her way or police other people's behaviors. When you see a Karen, usually you think of a blonde bob haircut asking to speak to retail or restaurant managers to voice complaints or make demands, along with being considered anti-vax Gen X soccer moms. This rose to popularity and fame of sorts in 2020 as Karen was spread as a label used to call out white women who are captured in viral videos, engaging in what is widely considered to be racist acts. There is another definition we need for another word, but I'm going to save it for later because somebody doesn't quite understand just how stupid they are, so as to provide suitable context as to why Jenelle Evans was in the news and why she got herself into hot water. We have to go back to 2019. In 2019, during a Teen Mom 2 reunion clip, Jenelle Evans was accused of dissing an athlete, and by extension she was accused of being racist. At the time, Jenelle Evans had stormed off the show after she'd been confronted by Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend Nessa. Nessa had told Jenelle that you posted hateful comments on social media about my family, my man, Colin Kaepernick. Jenelle denied these and claimed she didn't know who Colin was before storming off
in tears. Months earlier, Jenelle had branded Colin the most disrespected guy in the NFL while simultaneously slamming Nike and the campaign ad, with her writing on Facebook, "Let's choose the most disrespected guy in the NFL for our promos. Let's add a slogan about sacrificing. Everyone will love it. Let's choose the man that kneels at our flag. I will not be buying Nike anymore." Chris Kyle's wife wrote a huge letter about how she feels, and I couldn't agree more. Her husband actually did sacrifice a lot. Nike should change their motto immediately. Nike needs a new PR person pronto. But the next part might be where people then decided she's a racist, because she added, "Donald J. Trump unemployment rate is so low, even Kaepernick found a job, America." So how does this factor into present day? Well, Jenelle's active on TikTok, and she has continued to get comments concerning this incident, with her denying that she ever wrote anything negative about Colin, saying, "First of all, I'm not racist, let's get that out of the way. Well, now you've said that, that's all they're going to call you. Second of all, I don't know who Colin Kaepernick is. I don't keep up. Third of all, this was clearly a setup from the beginning. We were there to talk about my storyline and not Nessa's, and Nessa had to use my limelight. Yes, I was very frustrated because I didn't know where this Facebook post even came from. Then I realized, oh, it's my Facebook fan page, where I have like 4 admins that post clickbait, and so do the other teen moms. I'm definitely going to tag MTV because this is BS that still follows me to this day." One of the comments that intrigued me and leads to a second definition is this: "White tears is a phrase used to describe when white Karens do something racist or privileged and then cry when people call them on it. White tears is a euphemism for male ejaculation, with the term coming from a single sentence. I was busy at it, vinegar strokes and all. She tickled my sack, and before I knew it, I was crying the white tears of love." Now I know there's a second variant on this definition, because we can't have one, and now we have to use it to pigeonhole other people. So the second version of this, in this context, is not a reference to all white people. White tears is a phrase used to describe what happens when certain types of white people either complain about a non-existent racial injustice, so reverse racism for the win, I guess, or are upset by a non-white person's success at the expense of a white person. It encompasses the performative struggle to acknowledge the existence of white privilege, and the reality that it ain't always gonna go unchecked. Now, for the sake of it, this one doesn't really apply to Jenelle Evans either. When you really think about it, it really doesn't. Jenelle Evans, though, doesn't help herself because her reply to this is, "Which is racist?" And the term Karen is also racist. There is no positive way to use those terms. Now let's talk about that. Is there a positive way to use the term Karen? Yes, for my own amusement. And for yours, of course, the lovely viewer, because you all watch these videos. Hi. As far as whether or not she's telling the truth about the Facebook fan page go, or whether it was her Facebook page itself, I don't know. In truth, it doesn't really matter because the buck stops with her. While I do think clickbaiting does yield interesting results and does maintain a level of relevancy, you have to be very careful the battles you pick, because this happens when you choose the wrong battles, or you engage in the wrong battles. You have enough to be getting on with. After all, you are a young mother. When it comes to optics, with the way society is currently structured, you're not going to win, and you know you're not going to win, so why continue to fight it? And you can make all the noise you want. Unfortunately for you, Jenelle Evans, the moment the word racist was thrown at you, it was over. And that's the point with a lot of people, because they take words like racist and just throw it. Usually very reactionary people who can't fight a battle fairly. They will just throw these, well, thought-terminating cliches at you, knowing that's because of, well, in this instance, the color of your skin. They can use the loaded language because they'll just have the backing of every virtue signaler on the planet.
Just in case that didn't provide enough information as to who Jenelle Evans is, Jenelle Evans has a website, JenelleEvans.com. On it, there is a biography. Jenelle is best known for starring on MTV's hit series Teen Mom 2, 2009 to 2019. Born in 1991 in some place, in 2002 moved to Oak Island, North Carolina? Yeah, and has resided there ever since. She initially rose to fame on MTV's hit show, I think the S needs to move from MTV there, I'm going front hit, 16 and Pregnant. After the success of her episode, she was hand-selected to star in the spin-off series Teen Mom 2. too. She graduated from Tech College with a medical assistant degree and currently continues to use her popularity on social media platforms to keep fans updated and also promote brands and products to her audience. She is a proud mother to 3 children. All children starred in Teen Mom 2, and because of the success of Teen Mom 2, she and her co-stars have gone on to film more seasons of the series than any other. Congratulations. Jenelle has strong influence in the lives of teens and young adults through Facebook, Twitter and Instagram because she has a combined social media following of 3.5 million fans. They're all fans, everyone. Jenelle is one of the most interactive reality stars to date and interacts regularly with fans, posts pictures, gives fitness tips and vlogs to her fans on a daily basis. In 2015, she began working on her autobiography and released her first book about her childhood called Read Between the Lines from the Diary of a Teenage Mother. It reeks of inflated self-importance. I wonder why. So the last time I looked in on Jenelle Evans, she was busy plying her trade by being as, visible on multiple platforms as possible. That would include TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, which she wasn't that big on at the time, and only Fibro Fupa. Since I last looked in on her YouTube channel has gone from about 8,000 to 9,000 subs to 200,000 subs. Well, nearly 300 at time of recording. A lot of her content is food-based, very short content, and replying to people leaving comments, but also responding to drama. That's relevant, but she doesn't get much in the way of views over there. Her only Fupa Fibro costs about $20 a month, and I have no idea how she does on that. I don't know the type of content she posts either. I refuse to Google search that. On Instagram, she has over 3 million followers, and the amount of likes she receives fluctuates from between 4,000 likes all the way up to about 50,000 likes. But it's so higgledy-piggledy and all over the place, there is no level of consistency in that. On TikTok, she gets quite a bit of traction, but a lot of the traction she has gotten has been responding to negativity. But she does also vlog there, which is another aspect of it. Getting hundreds of thousands of views over there may not mean much in the way of income, but it is a way for her to expand on her brand, and she has also 3 million followers over there as well. She's also prominent on Snapchat, but I refuse to install the app to see how she does. Needless to say, she has nearly 600,000 subscribers there. She is very successful in growing her brand. It is just a shame, I guess, that there is no level of consistency across the board. TikTok is the one that does the best overall. When it comes to controversies concerning Jenelle Evans, I'm going to quickly go through a few of them so you have a bit more context as to who she is and how many times she's been arrested over the years. And then we're going to talk about her bloody husband, because we have to talk about her bloody husband. Since 2010, Jenelle Evans has been arrested 15 times. Starting in 2010 for breaking and entering coupled with possession of paraphernalia of the narcotic variety. While some were charges over the years dismissed, in the first arrest, she ended up with 1 year probation. In 2011, arrested for assault and a fray when she got into a fight. For this, she got a 30-day suspended jail sentence and a year of probation. She was convicted of a fray. A few months later, she was arrested for use of narcotics. In 2012, she was accused of making harassing phone calls to her former roommate. The majority of her arrests center around harassment, use of narcotics or possession of narcotics, or violating terms of probation, and fights. She a scrappy one. Many of the charges she denied and believed it was a conspiracy against her. When she was arrested for harassing a former roommate, Hannah Inman, she told E! News, "I think they're trying to charge me with things out of spite." It should be noted, Jenelle has not been in trouble with the law for a little while, but that can't be said. The same cannot be said for David Eason, her husband. Jenelle Evans has been with David Eason since 2015. They got married in 2017. They have a daughter together. Jenelle, as you might well know, has 3 children to 3 separate partners. Not judging, just stating it as fact. Don't try me. In October 2019, they did separate, but got back together in March 2020 and went to counselling. They've been together ever since. Jenelle will bat for David Eason, even if he's in the wrong. The reason I say that, because he's done something he really shouldn't have done. He has been absolutely rightly pilloried for it. David Eason has been charged with harming Jenelle Evans' first child, Jace. Jace has since moved in with Jenelle's mother, Barbara. When he is alleged to have attacked Jace, Jace ran away from home. The charge itself is a misdemeanor. Over the period of 1 month, Jace had escaped the property 3 times. The police had looked into this as possible neglect, and it is believed there is a video of an assault involving Jace. Both the cops and Child Protective Services have the video in their possession. Jenelle herself has not been charged, but she could face charges as well. Jace had actually for a long time lived with his grandmother, Barbara, because Jenelle had for the longest time been deemed to be an unfit parent. David Eason is quite a violent individual. In 2019, he shot and unalived the family dog after it allegedly bit their young daughter in the face. He was not charged for that incident. As far as I'm concerned, it was a massive overreaction. He could have changed the dog's behaviour and given the dog a second chance, if it was true, or rehomed the dog. But no, blast. That's what he went for. He is a reactive and very volatile individual. Now, I might be seen as someone that is portraying Jenelle Evans as a semi-lovely person. Allow me to make sure that this point is driven home now. She is not. She's a crap person, and I'll prove it in video form.
I hope you would have died in combat. Because no one.
Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. I'm straight up. Don't say that. That's some up shit,
I
man.
hope you fucking die.
Don't say nothing about no combat and dying. That's some shit.
I heard your best friend got killed in the war. Guess what?
Hey, you get your ass whooped.
Now, a problem for Jenelle Evans is that because of what David is now being alleged to have done, with it going as far as it has into a courtroom, her brand has taken a huge hit. Anything she has planned is suffering because of it. So when she goes on Instagram and posts a picture of her and her husband, people are going to start going, no matter what, I'll choose you over my children. Or the fact that he at one point had actually broken her collarbone and she is still with the man. Or the fact that over the years, you have done everything but put your children first. I get that you're a product of two crappy systems, one that enabled you into getting pregnant as a teenager and the other putting you on TV so you could make more bad decisions. But don't forget here, your first son was raised by your mother because of how crap you were. That's not to say you've gotten any better, really. So people have been querying the integrity of you when you are putting pictures like this out on social media and then limiting the comments on it.
Yesterday was a great day and today's Monday, and so far I was doing great. Got the kids ready, got them to school, and gonna turn to social media to make some content, look at some comments and get feedback on different videos I posted yesterday, and y'all just hate me. I'm just getting so much harassment, and I'm being called a piece of shit mom, horrible mother, and all these comments are stemming from one person who was spreading it, if you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, they're called mainstream media who saw what had happened. Many people have a priority when it comes to their children. It's why on Twitter I've seen people ask the question of, what would you do if this happened to your child? For example, if someone strikes your child, you should immediately respond to strike that person. That is what most people would say. A lot now go, well, we need to look at the situation, and no, I wouldn't do that for my child. I would die for my child. No, don't be so silly. You have been called a terrible mother because your son is alleged to have been the victim of ABUSE at the hands of your husband. It is why your son is back living with your mother. But it's harassment, everyone.
This will all be over soon, and then I'll be able to tell you guys the full truth and what's going on. But like right now, please just like keep your comments to yourself, because I'm trying to keep my mental health in check, but I still gotta work. I still gotta, like I said, post content, make videos for you guys, and I'd like to keep you guys updated with real content and not just complaining or talking about my situation all the time.
The problem you have is you're a slave for views. I mentioned it in joke to myself, but you are too. You are dependent on those very people who support you, who are leaving negative comments, to continue supporting you. The problem is right now, they don't want to support you. They don't want to support you for as long as you support your husband, or be seen to support your husband. Whether there is any truth to it or not at this point, I don't know.
I think what hurts me the most is that my own parent would do this to me. My own parent caused this whole storm. It just hurts because I would never treat my children that way. And I don't care what any y'all say, I would never treat my children that way.
FYI, no one believes her. When there were some preliminary hearings, we had found out there was a warrant out for David Eason's arrest, but also that the child, Jace, will be staying with his grandmother. Shortly after appearing at that courtroom, Jenelle put out another video, which has since been deleted from her TikTok page. This one tickles me a bit. This one tickles me because it's no longer on her TikTok page. She instead replaced it with other videos with the comments turned stormed off, lip-syncing to random bits of "oh look, I don't care" nonsense. But I'm going to play the one that she's deleted, and yes, it is a white claw in her hand because she's white trash.
First of all, I'm going to do what my lawyer advises me, and if that's to protect my privacy against paparazzi, then yeah, I'm going to ask if I can sit in my car instead of being bombarded like a Britney moment. Like, you guys should have saw that shit. When I came out of the courtroom, there's paparazzi sitting there waiting at the door for me. I had to cover my face with Ensley's sweater all the way to my car.
Just in case you don't know, this is the look of somebody who cares, and totally not somebody who wants to stand out and be seen by the very people she is now claiming she is a victim of.
Actually, to my lawyer's car, and then he had to drive me to my car because we had to do a little getaway. The whole point you're missing with this whole case is that it's about my son's mental health, and I will continue to say that. No matter what you guys say, this is about my son's mental health. That's it.
I would have hoped, for the sake of your own mental health, perhaps you wouldn't make these kind of videos, which you've since deleted because of how poorly it was received, because you've now just assigned blame in an area, you've inferred it, and because of that you got into a bit of trouble. I'm surprised your lawyer never suggested to you that you do not make any content on TikTok addressing the situation, simply because you do not win. Even if you were fully transparent, you provided all your receipts, you don't win, because you say how this is about your son, but you're not putting your son first anyway.
Y'all can hate me as much as you want. It's not going to stop me from posting content. It's not going to stop me from being the best mother I can be. And it's not going to cause me to get into the depression where I just run and hide in a hole. You can try to do what you want, but I'm taking care of my mental health, and I will make sure that I'm completely fine, and so are my kids.
What's amusing really is you didn't get your way in that court appearance. In fact, the judge refused to look at any of the evidence you were going to provide. You completely fecked this one up. You tried to spin a narrative that Jace's mental health is the problem. By your own admission, you took him off his medication and stopped taking him to therapy when you got custody of him, which surely counts as a form of neglect.
So continue to harass me. I'm going to stand strong, and I'm going to support my husband because I know the truth. God knows the truth, and you don't.
Apparently the police and the judge disagree with you, Jenelle.
At this point, you got the Columbus County Sheriff's Department lying to me. I have CPS that's kind of acting like they're on my side, but not really. I don't know who to trust in that situation. Because, you know, they're saying it's about my son's mental health as well. And they're like, you're not in trouble, but I feel like I'm punished. So I don't know about that. And then, you know, you got the whole situation with my mom.
I'm starting to understand why you deleted this. You finished that video by dunking on the police for being two-faced, loading a conspiracy that your mum's against you, which she is for obvious reasons, and that you couldn't present your evidence in court, but you will have your day in the sun. Right, okay. For the sake of it, I do believe in innocence until proven guilty, 100%. But I do think this video you put out in place of your response was a bit misplaced, and you should be well and truly ashamed of yourself, claiming to want to protect your son. You had him for less than a year, and you couldn't keep on top of the most basic requirements for him, which means you failed. At time of recording, Jenelle Evans is not having a good end to the year. While still getting phenomenal views on places like TikTok, her going defensive has only made her look even shadier. Granted, her own past is being weaponized against her, and while she believes she will have her day in court, the magnanimous and arrogant approach she has taken has only made her look even more pathetic. Also, turning off comments does not help. So where is she now? Doing exactly the same thing, making light of everything because she has a funny side, to try and deflect because it's the only thing she has, to draw attention away from what she can lose because she had been trying to grow her brand, and well, this doesn't help. Part of me thought perhaps she was trying to shoot for another reality show. I wonder why I thought that.